Old North Church, also known as the Christ Church, is the oldest standing church in the city of Boston. It was built in 1723. It is located on 193 Salem Street and played important roles in the Revolution and is now a famous tourist destination. In the basement of the Old North Church is a crypt that houses over 1,100 bodies and 37 tombs. Many Americans who died in the Revolution were laid to rest in this crypt. Almost all the Americans that died during the battle at Bunker Hill were buried here. This crypt was in use from 1732 to 1853. The architecture of the Old North Church is very detailed and complicated. It was inspired by Christopher Wren, who lived in England. It is 191 feet tall and was the highest church in Boston during the Revolution and is now the second highest in Boston. Some of the most interesting parts of the Old North Church are the 8 bells hung in the steeple and the steeple itself. They are the oldest bells in a church in the United States, and they were brought here from London in 1744 and hung in 1745. They had to be restored in the late 1800s due to poor maintenance and overuse. Now the bells are very well maintained and rung often by the MIT Bell Ringers Guild. The church's claim to fame is the night of April 18, 1775. This is the night where the renowned lanterns were hung from the steeple to warn the Charlestown Patriots of British Army movements. News was floating around that the British were going to attack the Patriots' army base in Concord. 3 Patriots, Revere, Dawes, and Prescott, were chosen to ride to Concord when the British finally did start to come. Patriots from Charlestown were meant to ride to Concord in case Revere, Prescott, and Dawes all failed in their attempts to warn the Minutemen in Concord and Lexington. Paul Revere devised a plan to warn Patriots all around Boston that when the British came, everyone would know where they were coming from. This was the idea of the lamps. Paul Revere did not actually hang the lamps in the steeple. Since he was one of the riders that night, there was no way for him to actually hang them. Instead, he summoned 2 trusted patriots, Robert John Newman and Captain John Pulling, to hang the lamps. Each carried 1 lamp. 1 lamp meant the British were coming by land, 2 lamps meant the British were coming by sea. Most know that 2 lamps were hung. The Charlestown Patriots did send a rider after they received the lamp signal, but he was almost immediately captured by British militia, and his identity is completely unknown. Most know what happened from that point, Revere and Dawes did not make it all the way to Concord, but Prescott did and was able to warn the Minutemen before the British could storm the stronghold. The colonists were able to clear out the fort and ultimately trap the British back in Boston through the tactics of guerrilla warfare.
An interesting fact about Old North Church is that most of the members of the congregation were actually loyalists to the kings, which is very ironic because Paul Revere used the church as a way to go against the king and try and defeat the British Army. If you really think about it, the Old North Church is pretty amazing. I mean, it's responsible for the reason why we're sitting in modern America today, and it's so amazing how this one structure could affect the lives of so many people and a civilization years after it. All in all, the structure is very important in American history, and it is right in our backyard.